2 chapters today, and that would be The Ghoul in Pajamas and The Will of Albus Dumbledore. And as you can see by our lovely title, today's topic is lies. Because it is Harry, of course, that is now permanently branded with this additional scar on the back of his hand. That reads, "I must not tell lies." And what makes that particularly interesting in this set of chapters is that for the most part Harry isn't. We have Ron and Hermione constructing these long narrative creations in regards to their families and themselves. Hermione admitting that she's obliviated her parents, of having a daughter, of who they were, of where they originally lived, and that the story for her missing school then is the assumption that since her parents are gone, she's gone with her parents. And then, of course, the Ghoul in the Pajamas, that's Harry's story, that's Ron's story. They've transfigured this ghoul, stuck him in pajamas, and it's going to be Ron with Spatagoid. So, all around Harry, in sort of his 2 closest confidants, are these creators of lies. But in a lot of ways, of course, we're looking at them and saying these lies can be forgiven because they're done in a manner that is meant to protect other people. The problem, of course, I run into is there are philosophers, Kant in particular, who I'm thinking about, that this isn't okay. Lying is never okay. It's a categorical imperative, which is the idea that anything you do, you must be perfectly okay with having done by other people to you. And again, this isn't like super specific, like I steal in this case, or I lie in this case. It is general. It is the simplest breakdown, and that is, in this case, is lying. And so a lot of us go, no, we don't want just everybody to have the ability to lie constantly. So really, that I must not tell lies, if you don't want to be lied to, means that you can't lie ever. Even in these moments. Because there are a couple of reasons. Because it might make matters worse, is one of the ideas. That if they just sort of take it as it is, then ta-da, we're done. But the other one is that the people that you were lying to are then being used as less than themselves, because you're not allowing them full agency. And that's the next problem we run into, because these are the other people that are surrounding Harry right now. These are Rufus, the Minister for Magic. Oh God, I hope we don't suddenly have a magical Muggle Prime Minister. Like what? The Ministry for Magic is compromised now because they can't work to their fullest abilities on both sides of things. That's true. Molly Weasley, Remus Lupin, really any of the Order, all of these people now have really limited ability to move because they don't have all the information. And that's a big part of what Harry's actually guilty of, because he isn't necessarily lying so much as just not telling the full truth. When Mrs. Weasley asks him like, you're planning on leaving school, the answer is yes. Well, I think you're too young to make that decision. I'm of age now. Well, I'm sure Dumbledore didn't mean, I know what Dumbledore meant. It's not, here, let me explain this to you. It's one sentence answers and then that's it. Which, again, some people would say, well, he's not technically lying. He's just not telling the truth. Except Harry keeps running into this as a problem with other people. When Rufus comes to give him the will, it's, why aren't you talking about the breakout from Azkaban? Why aren't you sharing this information that people need? Yeah, Harry, why aren't you sharing this information that people need? It's, again, also the question with Dumbledore. But here, Harry's a little interesting because it always becomes a question of, why didn't I ask? Which is weird. Why do we have that switch when it comes to Dumbledore? It's because we, again, want to keep his memory intact. So we can't look back and say, why didn't you tell me this information? It has to be, why didn't I ask for this information? So we have these narratives going on with this constant veneer of, I must not tell lies. And everyone is lying in some way. Whether that's not telling the full truth, it is directly lying, it's lying to themselves. All of these people are trying to be in control of the information. So no one has the full amount of information. That can't be good. This isn't gonna go well. If that's the information drop that we're dealing with. Because it's true, because Ron even asks at one point, like, unless you already know where the you-know-whats are, Harry's like, I don't know. Like, they're just objects, like, how do we even tell, like, no, the answer is no, I don't know. Like, no one's running on information, and everyone's trying to keep what information they have for themselves. But remember, kids, I must not tell lies. I'm gonna keep reading, and I hope you do too. See you next time.